In 1797, history was made in the United States. For the very first time, a great nation transferred power peacefully, without bloodshed, without war. George Washington stepped down, and John Adams was sworn in as the second president of the United States. It may sound simple to us today, but this moment was revolutionary. Until then, rulers usually clung to power until death or were removed by force. Here, however, leadership changed hands with nothing more than a handshake. This moment cemented a cornerstone of American liberty, the right of the people to choose their leaders through free and open elections. The power of a single vote, the sacred privilege of casting a ballot, spoke to the strength of the individual citizen. The young nation was filled with differing opinions, hopes, and dreams. And though debates could be heated, it was understood that discussion and disagreement were not weaknesses. They were vital to democracy. Because to make decisions, first, you must be willing to listen. Politics doesn't just divide nations, it divides friends. Inside the Justice League, two of its most trusted heroes clash. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, and Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow. Hal believes that as heroes, their mission is simple: save lives, fight threats, protect the people. For him, politics has no place in their line of duty. He argues that their job is about action, not endorsements. But Oliver sees things differently. To him, staying silent while the world debates its future is the same as standing by. He believes that heroes have a responsibility, not just to fight monsters in the streets, but to speak up about the kind of world they want to build. What starts as a difference of opinion quickly turns into a heated argument, two ideologies colliding head-on. Both men care deeply about people, but in opposite ways. Hal fights for immediate action. Oliver fights for lasting change. And in that moment, their friendship begins to bend under the weight of their convictions. What began as a clash of ideals quickly turns into a clash of egos. Hal Jordan can't believe it. In less than 5 minutes of disagreeing, Oliver Queen has already compared him to a Nazi. Hal spits out his frustration, but Ollie doesn't flinch. With venom in his voice, he shoots back. If the jackboots fit, the insults cut sharper than any arrow. Hal calls Oliver a hypocrite, a billionaire parading as a man of the people, pretending to fight for the little guy while living a life of privilege. But Oliver's fury burns hotter. Why is it so hard for people like you to understand? You don't need to be a little guy to want to help a little guy. Face to face, they exchange blows not with fists, but with words that sting more than punches. Oliver accuses Hal of being blind to humanity, too obsessed with the big picture to see the individuals he's sworn to protect. Hal fires back, claiming he's faithful to what he believes in. Ollie's reply is ice cold, almost mocking. You're the last guy who should ever use the word faithful in any discussion. The room grows heavier. Green Arrow shoves Hal Jordan with raw frustration, his patience worn thin. Hal's eyes flare as he steadies himself, anger tightening his jaw. You're kidding, right? Hal demands, his voice sharp. Oliver leans in, eyes burning with conviction. Does it look like I'm kidding? Hal touches his glowing ring, his weapon of infinite willpower, ready to escalate this argument into something far more dangerous. But Ollie doesn't back down. His quiver hits the floor with a heavy thud, arrows rattling across the ground. It's a challenge. The message is clear. Forget the ring, forget the arrows. Hal slams into Oliver, the two crashing into the conference table of the Justice League. The emblem beneath them shakes as fists fly. Hal swings first, his emerald glove cracking across Ollie's face with a sharp noise. But Oliver gives it right back, his head snapping forward in a brutal headbutt. The sound of bone meeting bone echoes through the room with a sickening sound. Chairs topple, the table shakes, and in seconds, they're nothing more than two brawlers, rolling and clawing like men in a bar fight. Just raw, unfiltered rage. Oliver drives Hal backward, slamming him through a glass case with a violent punch, shards flying across the room. For a moment, the line between superheroes and men is gone. Hal drives his fist into Ollie's gut, forcing the archer to buckle forward with a grunt. But Oliver retaliates instantly, a sharp kick cracking across Hal's face. The two trade blows like men possessed, glass crunching beneath them as their fight spirals out of control. Then, in a blur of fury, Black Canary storms in. She seizes Hal in a chokehold, yanking Oliver back while pinning him with her foot. "Are you out of your minds?" she shouts, her voice cutting sharp. Pinned against the floor, Hal growls in protest, but Canary doesn't give him an inch. She snaps at both men, her eyes blazing. "Shut up and focus. Are you forgetting we have a real problem on our hands?" Oliver wipes blood from his lip, still sitting in the wreckage of shattered glass. Hal's answer comes dry, bitter. "That's what I asked him." For a moment, the fight is over. At the JLA headquarters, the fallout of the brawl still lingers in the air. Black Canary stands between Hal and Ollie, glaring at them like a furious general scolding her soldiers. "Do I need to point out to you two morons," she snaps, "that not only are you supposed to save this craft for the bad guys, but you're also best friends? What is this?" Neither man looks her in the eye. Bruised, battered, and still defiant, they both shut down her attempt at peace. When she asks if they'd like to talk about it, Hal mutters a flat, "No." Ollie, still nursing his jaw, adds dryly, "Not especially." Dinah throws up her hands in exasperation. "Testosterone-laden brain donors," she mutters as the two storm off in opposite directions, still too stubborn to admit their own guilt. And that's the story, folks. Please, leave your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. See you next time.